People think of the Detroit Lions, they think of a failure of a franchise, right? But they really, one that just hasn't done any good drafting, pretty much, has destroys players' careers, legendary careers, aka Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson and shit like that, and they have terrible owners and they hire bad coaches, and they're just a team that's at best mediocre. And while yes, that is true, I am a being a proud Lions fan, that is true. There are some bad players that I wish we could let go, and there are some great players that I wish could have stayed a little bit longer. But because of the annoyance that is the Detroit Lions ownership team, we haven't been able to do that. And it sucks. Since the 1960s, since the 50s, the Lions have only made one NFC Championship appearance, and that was the same year they got their only playoff win since in the Super Bowl era. That was in 1991. They made it to the NFC Championship game against the Redskins. I'm calling them the Redskins, okay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling them the Redskins. I don't care if their name got changed. They are still the Redskins in my eyes, okay, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, they got blown out like 45 to 10 or something like that. I don't. But you gotta think, right? While yes, there has been bad ownership, bad trades, bad deals, and really just bad management of the team, there's a little bit more that I want to talk about for a reason why the Lions are not a winning NFL team right now. You can compare their failures to like Cleveland or to the Browns and like not really the Bengals, a few other teams. I'm just gonna mention the Browns. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why they are a inept franchise. But let's dive into it a little bit, because I got a few things I want to talk about and a few things I want to say. So one thing I'm going to really be talking about here is how screwed this team gets, okay? How fucking screwed this team gets. And the reason why I think this is true, that the NFL and refs and everybody else in the league is against the Lions, okay? Because you don't see Cleveland, except for like Bottlegate. Bottlegate's really the big thing from Cleveland. You don't see them getting a bunch of this bullshit. The other team you can compare it to, I guess, is the Saints. They've gotten a few screw jobs in recent years, but like, yeah, they just bitch and whine. Right, the first one was 2018 when the Rams went to the Super Bowl. Okay, that was legit. That was bullshit call. Everything. And then last year, when they lost to the Vikings, they were BSing about another PI call. You know what? They were both pushing off if they were even going to call it, so it was going to be offset. Score still stands, or it's against New Orleans, if anything, and there's really no push off at all. So fucking stop bitching and whining and thinking that every single fucking rule in the rule book can be changed just so you guys can win another granted trophy. You know what? You wasted Drew Brees' career. You wasted his career. You had a losing season with Drew Brees as a quarterback. More than one losing season, actually. With Drew Brees, probably a top 3 quarterback right now and probably all time at the helm, and you have a losing season with him. That is bad. That is really bad. Okay, if you have a good quarterback at the helm, you have at least a shot at 500 or like 9-7 or 7-9. Okay, but when you get anything worse than that, that's bullshit, and that is on not the ref's fault. That is on you guys, okay? And the Lions have an excuse, okay? Because they have a good quarterback, but they don't have a legendary quarterback, okay? We're going to get into why Matthew Stafford is not an elite quarterback. He's an elite. I'll say that. He is an elite quarterback. He was an MVP candidate until he got injured in Week 9 this year. He's been doing really good as of recent. He's had some moments and stuff, but he's a really good quarterback. He's a solid, hard, tough quarterback. He just doesn't have a lot of other things. So I'm going to rant on about a few of these things today, guys. So let's talk about the fucking refs, okay? Let's go back to, I'm going to point out some moments where I feel as the NFL was against the Lions here. And we're going to start with, I think it was in 1988 or some game in the 80s. or the early 90s. It was at home against the New York Jets. And the Jets were, I think they were about to run a play, go 4th and down, and the crowd was electric. It was like booming. You could hear it throughout the entire fucking city. Nobody was gonna sleep that night. Actually, it was the middle of the day, but nobody was gonna sleep that night. And so New York can't get a playoff because they can't hear a quarterback. And that's good. That's what you need. You need that fan excitement in order to get the defense or the offense, whoever's on the field, some of that excitement. But no, refs throw a flag. Okay, refs throw a fucking flag out of fucking nowhere, okay, and say that the college calm down. Well, you don't tell a rowdy crowd to calm down unless they're throwing shit on the field, throwing benches and everything like they do in Oakland or Cleveland or something. The Lions team, they weren't doing that. They were just being loud and just trying to hype up the defense and trying to stop the Jets. That's what a fan base is for. How can you be that dumb? And eventually they did get him to calm down after like 4 stops. Just let the Jets run the fucking play. It's the Jets. They don't need this stuff. They're already a fucking failure of a franchise. My God. So that was my first example. And probably the earliest example of the bullshit that I could find, because I went to the 90s were a good decade for the Lions. They made the NFC Championship. They made a few more playoff appearances up until 1999. Then you get to the 2000s. Barry Sanders retired in 1998. And after that, the Lions didn't make the playoffs the year after that, but they didn't do very good. And they wouldn't make the playoffs again until 2011, so it was 12 years. But in 2009, 2008, let's talk about 2008 first, okay. 0-16. 0-16. They were the first of only 2 NFL teams to go 0-16, okay. Not saying the rest bullshitted them this time, okay? They were an inept failure of a franchise. They have Calvin Johnson, someone who they drafted in 2007, and they still go 0-16, okay? But it's different. If you have a great wide receiver, but no great quarterback to throw to him, and he could still make those kind of catches, that's how you know you got an elite receiver, but that's how you know you got a bad quarterback, okay? Take notes. Take notes, NFL. Take notes, okay? Stop bitching about other stuff and take notes from me. I got the stats, okay? But anyway, we didn't have a good quarterback, went 0-16, yada, yada, yada. And there were some games we could win, and it wasn't very eventful. We lost in Green Bay to end the season, pretty fitting. Then 2009 draft comes around. We draft the quarterback of the century, Matthew Stafford. Oh yeah, Matthew Stafford is probably the best quarterback the Lions have ever had, and that's not really saying much because we've had some pretty bad quarterbacks in our history, especially since the Super Bowl era began. But I don't know. He's a good quarterback. He's solid. That was shown in a 2009 matchup against the Browns. Brought the Lions back from down 38, from down a large score, I think down 28, to win the game, even after he broke his arm, or had suffered a bad injury. I wouldn't say broke his arm. I don't think he would go back out and throw after you broke an arm. That would be pretty bad. But we get to our next screw job. This took place in 2011. No, not 2011. No, we're going to talk about the what happened before that. We're going to talk about 2013. It was 2013 against the Seattle Seahawks, Week 4. Monday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks. Let me just say, okay, Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, that's a curse for the Lions. Don't put the Lions on any other time slot except for 1 p.m. And because they're going to lose. They're going to lose at night. They're going to lose in the afternoon. They're not going to win any other time besides 1 o'clock, okay? And so this was Monday Night Football in Seattle. I mean, this is just like a death wish at this point. But they got a shot, okay? They were down 5, coming down for the touchdown late in the game. And Stafford throws it to Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson gets on the 1 yard line before Cam Chancellor bounces that out of his hand. Bam! Ball's back in the end zone, and he touches and bats it out for a touchback. I was like, it's an illegal bat. Illegal bat of the ball. Going to be back at the 1 yard line. Lions can run it in for the win. No, they didn't call illegal bat. They called it a touchback. Seattle gets the ball, and the Lions start the season 0-4. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? How do you call it? It was literally, they showed like 16 replays of it. Cam Chancellor hit like this, like that, bounces and goes out of bounds. But no, they're not going to call it. Oh no, we wouldn't want Seattle to drop to 1-3. Oh no, that would be a travesty. Then we get all the tons of protests. We can have the Lions going for it. Nobody cares about them anyways. Yeah, I can see you. All right, how about later in that season? Well, this was 2015. Later in that, how about the fucking Hail Mary? The improbable 61-yard Hail Mary from Aaron Rodgers himself in Ford Field. Again on the night game, by the way, Thursday night. Chucks it in the end zone. It's caught. Everybody remembers that. The Lions were astonished and everything. Blew a huge lead, But that shouldn't even have taken place. Because the previous play, there was 4 seconds to go. They start the ball, and they're throwing laterals and shit. All right, and Rodgers gets sacked. Rodgers got sacked. Game over. Lions win. Now they call it face mask. So they get a 15-yard penalty for Rodgers to go right down and chuck the game-winning Hail Mary. Okay, and when you look back on the replay, though, this right here does not count as a face mask. This is a face mask. This is not a face mask. But we're going to get to some more face mask shit later, okay? Let's talk about the 2015 NFC wildcard game in Dallas, all right? The Lions were in the playoffs. They made the playoffs in 2011. They got blown out by the Saints, but they made it back in 2014. And they went to Dallas to face the Cowboys in AT&T Stadium on the wildcard game. And they were off to a really strong start. It was like 17-3. They were up 17-3 at one point. They were on a strong lead, strong defense and everything. Then the Cowboys, of course, pulled some Cowboy shit. Tony Romo and Dez Bryant and all of them just pull off some bullshit and come back. And eventually Lions are only up 3. It's 20-17. Late in the game, Lions have the ball back, and it's 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, okay? Stafford rolls out. Okay, they're trying to get to, at least get a touchdown, trying to seal this thing. Because they go touchdown, they're up 10. There's only about 3 minutes left to go in the game. It's over. They can get a field goal, though, and go up 6, but they don't want that. They want the touchdown so they can secure that even if Dallas scores on the next play, they won't win. So, of course, Stafford throws it up, and he's throwing up for Brandon Pettigrew with Anthony Hitchens in coverage, okay? It's a clear PI. Anthony Hitchens is like, oh, yeah, let's just get laid right here, right now. V-card, yeah, put it in the ATM. We're done. He's got his legs all sprawled out on him and stuff. And clearly is PI. He's not even looking at the ball. He's looking dead in his face like this, okay? And it's, of course, it's incomplete. Pettigrew can't make that BS behind the back catch that one Stanford player did that one year, right? He can't do that. So then they call the penalty. They call a face mask. And after this, even after they come back out on the field, Dez Bryant comes out without his helmet. There's no flag on that. No flag on that. You can't come out on the field without your helmet on. Okay, that's bullshit. First of all, talk about that first. And then they pick up the fucking flag. They picked up the flag. Why do you pick up a personal PI flag? Why do you pick up a PI flag when it was clearly PI? Clearly PI. So, of course, 4th and 1, Sam Martin shanks it, go like 10 yards. Dallas drives down and get the winning score. Lions lose yet again, and then the Cowboys go to Green Bay, and they get royally screwed on their own thing. Okay, and then Green Bay goes to Seattle, and they get royally screwed because of their own, personal problems and shit. They can't hold a fucking 16-point lead. But whatever, I mean, okay. Those are a couple of major ones there. The Hail Mary one. Nobody remembers what happened before Aaron Rodgers' Hail Mary. Only people remember what happened at the Hail Mary itself. But take note that there was a failed face mask on that part. Okay? Just want you guys to know that real quick, okay? Let's see. So we got another one. Oh, wait. Oh, 2016. All right, 2016 to week 14 was really good time to be a Lions fan. They were on track to get the 1 seed in the NFC. They never made a past wild card weekend until 1991. They get the 1 seed. Yeah, they were on track. They were 9-4 after week 14. Granted, they had played a pretty weak schedule up until that point, but they had the division lead, so they were on track to win their first division since forever. I think it was like their first division since 1993. And they were on track to get the 1 seed or at least a bye. They were contending with the Cowboys and the Falcons at that point. So they come into week 15. Stafford has a broken middle finger. This one right there. From the Bears game the previous week. And of course, they go into a rainy New York stadium on a rainy late afternoon day. But the Lions held their own. They held their own in this game. There was one screw job that I really want to talk about, and I think it was favoritism towards the hype of OBJ. I think, honestly, he's a little overrated. He's been kind of going down in quality ever since his breakout season, and all that other shit. But he's still a pretty good player. I mean, he was pretty shit in Cleveland this year, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, so Manning throws a pass to him, right? And it hits the ground. Bounces up into his hands, so it's an incomplete pass because he didn't complete the catch before it hit the ground. No, they call it a catch. First down. Are you fucking high, NFL? Are you fucking high, refs, to think that that's a catch when the ball bounces on the ground and back up into his uterus or some shit? You're going to call that a catch? You're going to call that a catch? That's disappointing. That's very disappointing. That shows favoritism towards the Giants, It does. I mean, there was a couple other attempts. I mean, the Lions could have easily won the game on their own. There were just a couple of missed attempts because Stafford's broken middle finger. The Lions ended up making the playoffs that year, but they lost their last 3 games, including that New York game. And got the 6th seed. And guess what? They lost to the Shithawks again in Seattle. And you know what? There was more fucking screw jobs. But unlike the other games, this screw job wouldn't have done anything to adhere the outcome of the game. Because the Lions got blown the fuck out in this wild card game, okay? It was the only Lions playoff game I've ever watched live. And they got blown the fuck out by the Seahawks, okay? They couldn't do jack shit on offense, okay? Defense, they were holding it for the first half, probably like first 3 quarters. Then after that, they got blown out in that end too. But you can only hold on defense for so long, especially when Russell Wilson's the quarterback. Okay, but anyway, they threw the ball. Okay, there was not Cam Chancellor. It was a Seahawks player. Clearly grabbing Tamar's face mask like this. He literally ripped the fucking helmet to the side. Meanwhile, he's also hugging him with his other hand. Catches in one hand. Oh yeah, great catch. Never mind the fucking face mask. Okay. So they throw the flag. They actually threw a flag, but you know what? It was on Detroit. Why are you getting it on Detroit? It wasn't anywhere even near the face mask. Wasn't even anywhere near the face mask. You're going to call it on Detroit. I mean, it didn't do anything for the outcome of the game. That was going to put the Seahawks up 14 at that point. But still. All right. Now we get into the real shit, okay? Let's go to late September 2017. Lions are home this time again against the Atlanta Falcons. They are both 2-0 at this point. Lions are going to start 3-0, and they're facing the Falcons. And they hadn't led the entire game, but they had kept it close. They were down 30-26, and they were close. They were driving. They didn't need it. The clock was running out, okay? They throw out the tape. Throw out the golden tape. Golden tape was a god, by the way, okay? Throw out the golden tape. Caught it. And they show that he's down at the half-yard line. They originally scored a touchdown, but after further review, they said it was down at the 1-yard line. Half-yard line. Well, that's okay. They get another play. There was 8 seconds to go when they stopped the clock for the score, okay? So, okay, 8 seconds. We can run it into the end zone, or we can try another play. That's fine. No, they forgot to tell us that they just somehow introduced this BS new 10-second runoff rule, okay? So the 8 seconds runs off and the Falcons win the damn game. Never mind, Lions go 9-7, and this game was the pivotal point that kept the Lions out of the playoffs. They win that game, they take the Falcons spot as a 6th seed, go on to kick LA's ass, and then go on to almost beat Philadelphia. Okay, they could have gotten that playoff win. But no. Let's just have this 10-second runoff rule that we didn't tell anybody about, and let's introduce it during a Lions game, no less, okay? And you get that. You get that BS. Thank you, refs. But that's not even where the real shit begins, okay? That's not even where it really begins, all right? We're not even going to talk about 2018. That was a very underwhelming season. Very bad season. We're talking about this previous season. It's week 6 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Again on Monday Night Football, the Lions are playing the Packers. Actually, we should probably talk about the fucking fact that they got screwed the fuck over against Kansas City 2 weeks ago, back in week 4. We should talk about that because they had that damn game in the bag. They don't even call a catch on Golladay when he's literally got it like this, like a tombstone mummy from Tomb Raider coming like this. You're not going to call that a damn catch because it bounced around a little bit? You know what? It's called gravity. It's called change in energy and motion. Balls do that. My balls do that. So then end up calling the BS, fumble rule. Don't even say he's fucking down. Just, you can't see anything. I'll just let the play run this time. Let's have the off chance in a million years that the play actually runs. Okay, and then we get that bullshit to happen. So the Lions won that. The Lions should have won that game. They would come in this game undefeated. First of all, they had one loss. And they put up a strong effort against Green Bay. They were up like 10-0. They were on a strong run here. They were controlling the Packers in every which way. They were down. Let's see. Packers were down 9, and we had them stopped. It's like 4th and 5. They had to go for it, and then Rodgers gets sacked. Hooray! We get the ball back. We're in Green Bay territory. We can go up at least 12 here, and we'll be in business. We'll have this game in cruise control, and we'll be good. Nope. This guy Trey Flowers, who's never been called for a face mask in his entire life. Let's just call one when he's okay. Like I said before, this is the face mask. So NFL, this is not the face mask right here. This is a shirt collar for a t-shirt. Well, it'd be a jersey in football, but this is not a face mask. This is a face mask. This is a face mask. So you call the face mask, and then Rodgers throws a BS shot down the field. So now it's 22-20. The Packers get the ball back after Golden Tate takes 2 steps, mind you, drops the ball, so they call it a fumble, right? And goes out of bounds, still get the ball. No, it's incomplete pass. Lions can't have anything good. We're being paid to rig this game for the Packers. They're rigging it for us. It was bullshit. All right, that was minor compared to that Trey Flowers call, and this will we get up next. All right, Packers are driving, about 1:36 left. Lions have burned all their timeouts, and they have the Packers stopped. They're going to have to kick a field goal, probably going to take the damn lead, but we got time to drive back down, kick the game-winning field goal, win this, go 3-1-1 as we head home next week. And guess what happens? Another BS call, again with the fucking shirt collar. This is a face mask. This is not. This is a face mask. This is not. This is a face mask. This is not. And what do you know? Green Bay runs the fucking clock down and kicks the game winner as time expires. The Lions went on to have a shithole season with only 3 victories. And I blame it on both the Kansas City and the Green Bay game because they were doing great up until those losses. But you know what? Why do we even try? The Lions are a small franchise being plagued by this Ford family. You know why we should try? Because the fucking refs hate us and we need to beat them to the core. Why are you so against the Detroit Lions? What did the Detroit Lions ever do to you, refs and NFL? Roger Goodell, what did they ever do to you to make them screw over like this? Okay? They could have upwards of 4 Super Bowl championships because of the caliber of teams that they've had over the last few years. Okay, with Calvin Johnson, all right, Golden Tate, Matthew Stafford, and they got Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay. Look at that receiving core. Would be beast, but no, you had to fuck off Johnson in 2015, and you traded away Tate then you traded away Tate, who was carrying our team in 2018. You trade him away when we need him the most. All right, Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, they're gonna be gone anytime now. Okay, we can't find a fucking running back to stay healthy for fuck's sakes. All right, our quarterback gets injured. We have to get our third string quarterback. And we get fucking beat by the Broncos of all people. Okay. I didn't even mention every call. There was a 2012 Sunday Night Football game against the Broncos. The ball was literally stuck on the dude's back and they called it incomplete. It's on his back. You can have it on his back and it's still live. There's a few others that I forgot to mention as well. But I mentioned the big ones because you should get the point by now, okay? The Saints got screwed once. And look what all the attention they got. The Lions have got 4, 5, 6 experiences that I mentioned just now, plus more that I didn't even mention. Where's our recognition? Where's our thing? We get like a day of recognition in like a few YouTube comments on the game highlight video or something like that. We don't get any of this BS social media attention or anything. Okay, we don't get the NFL doesn't change a rule for us. Okay, you know why? Because they hate us. Why they hate us? Beyond me, for fuck's sakes. But why? Why do you hate us so much? We've done nothing. We've done nothing for you. But you know what we have done? We've had some great talent. We drove away Barry Sanders. We drove away Calvin Johnson. For what? Man, I hate the fucking Lions. And the thing is, the Tigers and the Red Wings and the Pistons, they were good. They at least won championships in the modern era. But not the Lions. And I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be in my living room on Super Bowl Sunday, one night in my life, and I'm gonna watch the clock tick out as the Lions win a championship. And I'm gonna laugh at your face, NFL and the refs. I'm gonna laugh in your face. I'm gonna hold it to me. Hold it to me, because I'm gonna laugh in your face when it happens. And we'll show you that they can win a championship. It may take 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, but I'll be here when it happens. I'll be here.